Ciao Milanisti and welcome, no, I can't really say welcome back, can I? Because I'm the one that's coming back because it's been quite a few months since my last video. Welcome back for me. Firstly, I want to apologise for not appearing over a couple of months. Firstly, there was World Cup, and secondly, I've new job, routine of my life, had to really get it in check. So I'm hoping that this new year is allowing myself, I'm trying to give myself a routine where I can still make content for you guys. I'm hoping you guys still enjoy it. And yeah, still deliver something because I still love this club and I still want to, reach out to you guys around the world. I'm hoping that you guys appreciate that. I'm trying to make this effort as well in my life. So there's that firstly. Secondly, I'm sorry for my voice, I'm a bit croaky. Of course, in England, it's the country of never-ending pissing rain. So I've been caught up with a little bit of a cold, so my voice is a bit croaky, so apologies for that as well. And thirdly, I know I'm wearing glasses. I don't usually wear glasses, but I usually wear contact lenses, but you've got this luxury for today. So on that, all these three intro things I've just mentioned, let's talk about Milan, because we're here to talk about the club, not about my life and my glasses and my croaky voice. We're here to talk about the club, which is not going through a good moment at the time, and we're not naive enough. We're not naive to look past the performances. The summer market, which isn't looking too good right now. Stefano Pioli's choices, some selection choices and substitution choices, tactical choices. The players, some regression players like Fikayo Tomori and Theo Hernandez defensively. Where else can I look at? The injuries, Mike Mignon, Ibrahimovic, when are we going to get them back? Rebic. The squad depth. I think talk about Rebic there. Rebic, Origi, CDK. Young raw players that we brought in for the summer, they've not been able to add any quality to this side. There are so many things that I can pull apart and say, you know what, this is an issue, this is an issue, this is an issue. The biggest thing for me is the mentality, the motivation of these players. And if you followed me throughout Twitter, if you do follow me on Twitter, I spoke a bit over the friendly games over the winter break. The Arsenal game, 2-1 loss is what it is. We had a few moments as well. Liverpool, a humbling loss, but at the same time, this Liverpool, season's starting a bit more sooner and they've got money to blow, but it's the PSV game that really pissed me off. Because I sat down and I watched that and we looked trash. Not just defensively, looking like crap, like Dest having like that run at him all the time, and it was really good right winger as well. I hope we go for him. He's from Barnet, so he's not actually far. He was born pretty much around the corner from me, so I might have to slide into his DMs and tell him to come to Milan if we can actually ever afford him. But anyway, attacking wise, lethargic, predictable trash basically. And I thought, at the very minimum, Milan has always been a club in Stefano Pioli. This takeover, his era at the club has been defined by the fact that yes, we've not had the players that are known around the world, or when you look at our side as a starting 11, we look like favourites to win anything. But there's heart, there's desire, there's motivation, there's a work rate, there's a hunger and expectation that these players 11 players will go onto the pitch and give you 100%, 120%, because they'll run for every loose ball, they'll press, they get the third balls when they're up in the air. Everything to do with this side has been defined by the fact that we have got a great hunger, a great heart, a great work rate. And I'm not seeing it right now. And I've not seen it for a while. And when I say a while, I mean, obviously probably, I'm just trying to think if we can isolate it. Look, the season's not been great in general. There's been lapses in concentration. But, the derby was great in September. Juventus victory, great. It was like a period, I think, in and around that sort of, those Chelsea losses, I think, for me. And the inconsistencies of our performances. I know the calendar's been very tight and we've reacted really well. We got through the group stage. We hit targets there. We found ourselves going into the World Cup with an 8 points behind Napoli, who were obviously performing tremendously. I can't sit here and say that we could be doing any better than we were prior to the World Cup. A few, the Cremonese draw or the Torino loss away. There's something boiling under the surface for me, which is not looking good, and it's the work rate. I really fear that some of these players aren't buying in still, and I don't know who these players are. I don't know if it's a collective thing. I don't know if it's the coach. There's something that's not quite right, and this is a big moment right now for the club this season. We're going into the Super Cup midweek. Massive game against our prick cousins, Inter Milan. And we need to react. Like, came away from the PSV game, I gave my opinion on how the team was performing in that friendly, and it wasn't good. And a lot of fans were saying, "Oh, it's just a friendly, it's just a friendly." And I thought, no, this isn't. It's not just that. It's the way we've lost the game, and if that creeps in consistently throughout the regular course of the season, then you're going to start being aware of the issues that we have, and now you are, because the Salernitana game was comfortable to the point until we let the team get back into it because we're not drilled in. And then the Roma game, complete lapse in concentration, very unprofessional, I think, from a sporting perspective. Set pieces again defensively. The keeper, it's just like, yeah. Let's not talk about that better. The Torino game, 11v10 men. We looked better when it was 11 versus 11 and the rotation players were doing well. So you can see it starting to creep in with the starting players. And then obviously, last night from the point of making this video against Lecce, not good enough. I'm sorry, not good enough, even clawing back in. And if we won that game 3-2, it was still in the case that how are we allowing this to happen? How are we 2 goals behind with this shoddy display defensively and this lethargic and predictable display in attack? I think every area of the side has got issues, whether it's depth, whether it's starting quality. Goalkeeper, we've got injuries there. Defensively, we've got regression in certain players like Fikayo Tomori, who I love to bits still, but at the same time, we're getting caught out from set pieces. We can't defend crosses and corners. Midfield, we haven't got the depth. Kessie's replacement has never come in. Pobega and Vrank's still very raw, too young, too inexperienced. The wingers, like Leao, if we didn't have Leao, we'd be finished, like really finished right now. We're creating anything. The rest of them, I don't want to talk about them. I don't really want to pinpoint anyone. And up front, obviously, we lack a 20-goal a season striker. Giroud, I don't want to hit on him too much. I know his build-up, his link-up play isn't ideal. There's too many flicks and stuff like that. I hope he keeps things simple, but at the same time, his output compared to like Origi and I don't even know where Ibrahimovic is, but it outweighs whatever the hell they provide. So it's like there's issues everywhere in the side. It's not, I can't look at one position or one area of the side where it's defence, attack, midfield or a goalkeeper and I think like, no, we're sweet, we're solid. Whereas it wasn't the case like a year ago. I looked at our midfield and I thought, you know what, we got 3 quality centre midfielders. Or even defence and, we had 4 centre-backs who were just we had 5 who were fighting in great form. It was, now there's just this issue in every position. So I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of talking about the squad and how it's been built, but this is the case. But I think back to it, the biggest issue for me is the mentality, the motivation of the players. And I really hope that they can recover this because this is massive. Super Cup game midweek, Lazio on the weekend, big fixtures coming up. We've got Inter again, the derby, I think start of February. We've got Tottenham Hotspur's Champions League mid-February as well too. So we need to react because not only will we be out of a position where we'll be going from 4 competitions that we're competing in, which we're now in 3 because we got the Coppa, we're then going to go into a position where it's going to be not winning any cups and also fighting for our position in the top 4 because we've allowed Roma and Lazio to creep back into contention. So we're on that sort of knife edge where our season can be defined from these next coming weeks. We're at the halfway mark of the season, so there's still a lot of time to recover things, but there's also equally a lot of time to F things up. So we need to recover this right now. It's the coaches, the players, it's the team. I don't think anything's going to be done in January. I personally don't think, I've been saying this for months, I don't think there's going to be any investment. We might look towards the end of the market if we're really desperate and hope that a situation might arise where a club is willing to maybe get rid of a certain player because he needs some game time, potentially I don't want to say Ziyech, but a scenario like that where we can hopefully capitalise on a loan deal. But I'm not gonna lose any sleep about that. I think what we have is what we're gonna have for the rest of the season, which is a bit concerning. But at the same time, we've got to deal with it. We've got to play as good as we can with the chips that we have in front of us. So it's just how can we just do the bare minimum and recover things from a motivation and a work rate perspective. So I don't want it to be all doom and gloom because my first video back, I don't want to be completely crapping on the club, but at the same time this is the reality. I can't sit here and say I'm happy. There's one thing to be happy for though. We got the Benacer extension across the line, so we obviously need Rafa to extend, but this obviously depends on how we perform. Why I wouldn't blame him to be a bit sheepish to be like, I don't want to sign an extension because look at the way we're playing. We can't even like string wins together. We can't even get solid wins at all. So yeah, there's not all doom and gloom, but it's such a crucial week this week coming up, because from the point of, like Inter, Lazio, massive games. I want to come away from this week saying that we won a trophy and we've also kind of stamped down our hold on the top four, not 2 losses, which could be the case. So I think, honestly, it's a massive, crucial week for this squad, for this team, and we just really hope we bounce back. We see some great desire, some great hunger, some great work rate, fixing on a lot of the issues that we have defensively, fixing on our predictability and lethargic and slow attack, and like really showing something where the fans can be excited to watch how Milan are performing again. And that only can come from the players and from the coach. So I'm really hoping they can turn things around. But anyway, guys, it's been great catching up with you. It's been great talking to you. I'm hoping my next video will be much more positive. I'm confident it will be. I'm hoping it will be. But until then, have a great week. And until next time, Forza Milan.